Hello YouTubers, as I assume you are if you found this video. My name is Mike and I'm here to give you a dose of positive reality today. I like to think of myself as a big picture guy who focuses on a wide range of heavy issues. I always get right to the meat and potatoes. I won't eat up too much of your time, but I hope you'll think what I have to say has some weight. Okay, is that all the fat jokes? Yeah, we got all the fat jokes. Alright, I'm sure some of you will show how creative you can be in the comments later anyway, but that's out of the way for now. So, let's focus on today's real issue at hand. I'm sure a lot of you have seen videos floating around the internet in the last 2-3 years talking about how following your passion or going for your dream makes you unrealistic. There's a pretty famous one from a couple of years ago done by Mike Rowe of Dirty Jobs fame. You can find a link to his video in the description below. Today I am going to adamantly disagree with him and anyone else who's of a similar mindset. Now we all know that there are challenges we have to face when it comes to going for the gold. No one really thinks it's easy as pie. But the fact of the matter is, that's how we should see them. As challenges. Obstacles to face on our way to the goal. Not roadblocks that decide whether or not we can ever get there in the first place. And that's one of the problems that I have with the Mike Rowe video and some other like videos. See, in the video, Mike Rowe is quoted as saying, "Never follow your passion, but always take it with you." What he means to say is that many people aren't prepared to follow their passion at the outset, and it might be practical or prudent to focus on things that are available rather than on what you want to do. I think that this is a very problematic approach. Why would I ditch my ambitions from the start rather than see if there are opportunities that I have to enact my passion? See if I'm capable of living out my passion. Why would I never go for it? It sounds foolish and absurd. Because it is. Fuck it. Also, and even more to my point, just because you don't have the skills to live out your passion now, doesn't mean that you never will. It just means that you have to work a lot harder than some other people. Sure, there are going to be people out there that are a lot more talented and in the ways that you very well wish you were too. But that just means you have to put your nose to the grindstone, hope that the damn siren shut the fuck up so that I can finally get through this take. It means that you have to put your nose to the grindstone and work very hard getting where you want to go. I know a little bit about this myself and I'll get to that very shortly. You can do this. It's not easy. It'll be brutally difficult in many cases, but it is extremely doable. Now, I'm not delusional. I understand that there are certain limitations on us human beings. I know that the limits are far beyond what many of us believe they are, most of the time, but they do exist. Say that you want to be a great singer, but you've got rusty pipes instead of golden ones. I just know it, Billy John, I just know you're gonna be the next big star. Because I got friends in low places where the whiskey flows and the beer chases my blues away. And I'll be okay, and I'm not big on social graces. You know, I'm really not the... Oh, that's good. That's good. Now, let's think about how someone who wants to sing can still be close to their passion for music. They could become a songwriter, a talent scout, a band manager, a vocal coach. I know it. I just know you're going to be the next big star. If you listen to old Billy John, you're going to be as popular here as you were in Korea. Now take me from the top of the second refrain with a C sharp. Let's go. Come on.
how did you talk me into being in here again?
But the acoustics in here are amazing. That's where I used to practice all the time. Moonshine?
No!
Oh. Say that you've been training to become a doctor, and all this time you've been learning how to do surgery. But you really don't like having to deal with the life and death pressures of the operating room. It gets to you, and you don't think that this is a lifelong endeavor for you.
Wake up! Wake up! You're gonna die! I can't outperform the operation. You're gonna die!
I'm dead? Is this heaven? Are you God? An angel?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Wait a minute. Is this the operating room? Why am I awake in the operating room?
You look like you need a pillow. Here.
Well, I mean, it'd be nice to... Friends in the low places where the... What the hell are you doing in Billy John's bedroom? Oh, that's right. You folks paid me for this. There's a lot of weird stuff going on in this house lately. Hey, is he dead? Okay. You can still be a great diagnostician, medical technician, or medical researcher.
Alright, bud, drink this and you'll never have to worry about cancer ever again.
If you say so, Doc. It tastes like almonds.
That's the cyanide.
And he can still follow his dreams of being a doctor if he moves to Guatemala. Stick close to what you want to do. So why am I bringing this up? Because there are ways to stay close to your passion, even if you can't get where you specifically wanted to be. And I strictly believe in trying to get there before making any kind of assessment like that. Well, I believe that it is an absurdity to ditch what you really want to do in favor of going for what is simply more readily available. I think it's disgraceful to be teaching people an ideal like that. Go for your passion first, and if at first you don't succeed, go for your passion second. Do whatever it takes to get as close as you can to what you love to do and where you love to be. That's the way to live. Don't let anyone tell you differently. I've been there. I know. Now, before you think I'm some slacker looking to give ideas and advice to people on the internet without practicing what I preach, without having gone through the very struggles I'm now speaking about, I'll give you a little bit of my background to be fair. I was born on the autism spectrum. When I was young, I couldn't communicate well, use words effectively, understand other people's emotions, or read social cues. I was awful at all of those things. So of course, I had all the natural talents required to live out my passion of working in politics. So I spent a lot of my youth learning about people, getting in touch with people from all different backgrounds so that I could learn how to do right by everyone individually and overall. There was a lot of struggle and there were a lot of lessons to be learned, but I did reach my point of competence. And once that happened, it was time for me to look for a place in my career. And I found it. I was hired to be a senior staffer in an elected official's office. And I performed that role for 2.5 years. As you might assume, I did face the ugly jaws of prejudice towards the end of my tenure. But guess what again? I didn't back down. I used everything I learned about how to communicate and talk to people to get my story out there, so that people would come to see that you couldn't get away with mistreating disabled workers. I was going to do what it took to help people like me, and making sure that this never happened again. And I got a lot of support from a lot of people from all over the country, even Europe. We had people donating literal tens of thousands of stuffed animals after what happened in the case. And I'm still continuing to give them hell for what they did to me. And I'm not going to stop. Think about that the next time somebody tells you that you can't follow your passion. I'm still out there doing what it takes. And you can do what it takes too. So, aren't there some people who find happiness and success doing something they never thought about doing before? Yes, there are. I wouldn't deny this. But I want you to ask yourself some questions about what's going on in most cases like this. Now, some of these videos I'm referencing will talk about people who have found their success somewhere completely outside their passion. Roe's video in particular mentions a man who had some kind of passion that they don't mention specifics of, but found himself doing a different type of job where he really enjoys the ins and outs of poop pickup. Sure, okay, I mean, I'm not going to judge you if that's what you really want to do, but in cases like this, where you start out wanting to do something and end up somewhere else, and end up happy and end up successful, there's three possibilities that come to mind. One is you got some kind of Stockholm syndrome from your job, and now you just love it because you do it every day and feel stuck with it. I really want to apply for some of these positions in journalism, but it's gonna be rough. I'm gonna have to put work into it, and they need people to pick up roadkill right now. Fuck it. Oh boy. Today, I found 2 skunks, a raccoon, a squirrel, and a dog. When I get home, I'm gonna stuff you and mount you, and then practice my taxidermy. The second possibility is maybe you found a passion you didn't know you had at first.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Do you know where the tea tree is?
Yeah, it's actually right down here. So yeah. I can work with this.
But the majority of the time I wouldn't think that this is the case, since you probably have a pretty good idea by the time you hit the job market what you do and don't like, and your instincts are better guides than other people and the world. And the third possibility, I think the most likely in most cases, maybe the new thing that these people are doing has to do with their passion. It's just not very apparent at first. Maybe that man that learned to pick up poop every day really had a dream of running a successful business. Had a dream of becoming financially successful, providing for his family, having generations of his kin taken care of. Maybe he just likes being his own man, not answering to some sort of corporate structure. I think it's very possible that those are the goals that this person had, that many of the people in these stories have, and that means they're still living out their passion, and it's misleading to say otherwise. Now, it's very disheartening to see so many people saying, and even worse, so many people choosing to believe, that passion is the enemy of progress, that it is the antonym of success. If you watch Roe's video, you'll see that he has a picture drawn of a person choosing between multiple paths. And the first path has an arrow going one way that says passion. And the second path has 4 arrows, of course, pointing in the other direction that all say opportunity. Now, this is a fallacy. There are opportunities within your passion. They are not polar opposites. Saying otherwise is to suggest that it is best to choose what is more easily gained over what we want most and would make us the most happy. It's not a message anyone should be promoting, and it's one of the first things that made me think about shooting this video. There are points that people like Mike Rowe have when they say you can't always live out your passion or achieve your dreams right away. There is a truth to that, but it's certainly not the whole truth. Why are we not taught, for example, to work our way through the opportunities to our goal? Maybe there's an opening for an entertainment journalist or critic, and you make all the connections that you need to get that long-awaited audition. Maybe you're a grant writer for a non-profit or some other kind of funding expert that they need, and you make the connections there that you need to get that coveted job in government. There are ways to the goal without starting at the top. That's the reality that we need to learn, not the reality that's forced at us. In conclusion, I would say that anyone who believes that it's unrealistic for you to follow your passion or go for your dream is being far more unrealistic than you are. They're failing to see that where there is a will, there really is a way. Even though there are pitfalls and possibly painful admissions to make along the way, there still is a way, and it still can get you there. So follow your passion, but be smart about it. This is what you're here to watch, I know it.